This episode of the Ron Purtee Show is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/Ron Show. Over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. So head over to audibletrial.com/Ron Show today.
This is the Ron Purtee Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the program. Matt Fraction, friend of the show, friend with benefits, as you'll hear him say, is on this week. I had a great talk about him and Marvel and Brimpers and sex criminals, which apparently is the hottest book on the planet right now. So if you're not reading Sex Criminals, get to reading Sex Criminals. It's good. I enjoy it quite a bit. Some big changes going on. If you're listening through iTunes, this is the first episode that's only on the new feed. We had some changes. I'm actually, paying for hosting now as opposed to trying to go through some free bullshit. So if you go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Ron Purtee Show, you head over there. The top post that's pinned to the top provides you with a link to go to iTunes and subscribe to the new feed. It gives me better numbers, and I can keep track of things and whatnot. I'm fully aware that there's maybe at the most a handful of people listening, and I appreciate those people who are listening. If they could rate and review the show, I would appreciate it very, very much. I do this out of love. But like the Nine Inch Nails song said, sometimes love is not enough. But I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. I don't think I could do anything else besides this. So I'm like a shark. I have to keep swimming, I guess is the best way to put it. So, but yeah, big show today. Matt Fraction's on the program. It's a lot of fun. And I hope you enjoy, and we will be right back. For you, the listeners of the Ron Purtee Show, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. I recommend Paddle Your Own Canoe by Nick Offerman, read by Nick Offerman. It's just amazing to hear him read the book and add little things here and there. It's just fantastic. And there's just Amy Poehler's got one, Tina Fey. If you're a fan of comedy, a fan of autobiographies, definitely some stuff to check out. So head over to download your free audiobook today. Go to audibletrial.com/Ron Show. Again, that's audibletrial.com/Ron Show for your free audiobook. Joining me right now, friend of the show, I think is fair to say. You've been on 3 times now.
Friend of the show with benefits.
Exactly. I need to tell you about what happened at the doctor last time I went, but that's neither here nor there. Matt Fraction, thank you so much for being back on.
Thank you for having me.
Now, something I really want to talk to you about is the Universal TV deal.
Yeah, sure.
What all can you talk about with that? I mean, I've heard on Hollywood Reporter and all this Sex Criminals TV show. Is that all going to happen, or?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we're going to try. Who's to say what'll happen? But they're very smart and powerful people that are paying us to try and make it happen. So yeah, we're going to give it a shot. It's a deal. Kelly Sue and I, my wife, and far better writer than I, have a company, and it just was for tax purposes. It was just how we got paid. People paid our company, and then the company paid us. Right. It was just sort of our house brand or whatever. And eventually, as we were both kind of talking to various people in California, it kind of became clear that Universal saw potential in trying to give both of us a home, So that's, it's for our stuff. It's for stuff that they bring to us that they want to see, that maybe we spark to. It's for books like Wicked and Divine that that we love and we think more people should see and read, and that we think would make a great show or whatever. Um, um, yeah, so it's kind of a wild frontier of stuff, and I hope this time next year I'll have a lot more like interesting stuff to say. But
If
yeah,
you
it's all very new right now
if you
somehow.
had your way, which I hope you do, what network would you see a sex criminal show on? Would you see it on like an HBO or an AMC or?
The fellow running HBO doesn't see sex criminals as a show, if I understood correctly, while quite enjoying the book. So no, I don't think I would like bark up the HBO tree just because it sounds like my seed would find no purchase. Um,
Wow.
um, but no, but look, it's good for him. Like, thank you for not making me waste 3 years of my life to chasing after. A show. That said, I'm talking to HBO about stuff, so this is I know that I know their feelings about sex criminals because we were talking about something else. Um, Boy, is that a douchey thing to say, isn't it? Jesus Christ. I honestly am intrigued by the sort of Netflix, Hulu, Amazon world. Just the opportunity to try and play with that streaming model and figure out what can we do and how does this work and what is there are a lot of great places for the show. And like the first thing, like when I sat down with Russell Rothberg at Universal to have like the real kind of conversation, um, I said to him, like, how many cum jokes can we get on the air after the blacklist? And he's like, oh, no, this isn't for broadcast. This is like, meaning like, it's not for NBC. I was like, oh, okay, great. Then we can have this conversation. Like this is going to be fine. Like you get it. I get it. We're on the same page.
Right.
So I don't know. There's a ton of great places. Look, one of my favorite shows of the last year was The Nick on Cinemax. I think Masters of Sex is fantastic. I think it's a really exciting. I feel like TV right now. I feel like TV in this day and age is what movies were in the '70s. What American film was in the '70s. Like, it feels like the real work is being done right now in television.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. I'm a big fan of the Netflix model.
Yeah, but ultimately, I would love for sex criminals to be on a network somewhere where the president of the network was a fan.
Right, right. Oh,
Um,
definitely.
well, like that's more like I'm a big believer in trying to enlist zealots. You know, like I don't want employees, I want collaborators, and I don't want fans. I want zealots, right? Like I don't. It's great to be liked, but I would much rather there be a frothing lunatic uh, in love with the work, at your back, because then in my experience, crazy passion brings out the best in people. So I've been fortunate to meet some people who feel crazy passionate about my work and Kelly Sue's work, and so wherever we end up, I would love to be surrounded by maniacs.
Well, that actually leads to that's a great segue into my next topic is Brimpers United.
Yeah, the Brimpers.
Those people are hot shit crazy about sex criminals.
Yeah.
And what was that experience like being there with all these people who just like you said, froth at the mouth for this book?
I Flattering, staggering, unreal. Uh, have this. First off, I couldn't express to you all in a way that would sound believable. Sort of how amazing this last year and a half has been, because of so many people like the ones who come to those ridiculous ridiculous brimp ups. It's surreal. It's unbelievable. It's crazy. It's great. It's humbling, and it's an exercise in gratitude. And oh God, it just makes me terrified of letting people down. Always makes me want to go home and work harder.
Well,
Oh my
that's a
God,
good
there's so
thing.
many nice people who don't want me to suck. I can't let them down.
Well, that's a good thing, though, I think.
Yeah, no, sure, it beats contempt, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, now, I mean, you were on Seth Meyers, which was kind of cool.
Oh, it was yeah. Oh my God, um, it was berserk. And it was like subliminal. The whole day was like light speed. Like I don't. I remember saying a couple of times to a couple of different people, like I have literally no idea what you're saying right now. Like just that everything is going so fast and crazy, I can barely pay attention. And it felt like it took all of 3 minutes. I suppose it did. I suppose it is a 3 minute segment, but it's one of the only times in my life that 3 minutes has felt exactly like 3 minutes.
And it was cool to see you. That's and that's the one book of yours I don't have is just the tips. I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, it was cool to be able to hold. Yeah, they were fans of that stuff from the letter column, so Seth, and it was really cool to get to like not pretend the book was anything other than what it was on national television.
Right. And they only had to bleep you once, if I remember.
This is true. Yeah, my parents were very proud.
My parents would say, "What next?" So you made it
Yeah,
to TV. What are you gonna do now?
yeah. Wow. It's all
Parents.
downhill. It's all downhill from here.
Now let me ask you. Let's get into a serious topic here.
Okay.
This one is. I don't know if you've talked about this at all, but now are you still with Marvel?
No, um, no.
Did this have something to do with what happened with Inhuman, or did you
No.
just kind of like just decide, you know what, I'm doing my own thing?
Um, not neither. It's a lot of little decisions. There's no drama. There's no bad blood. There's no falling out. It just I was playing in the wrong band, and I think everybody kind of knew it, and why make everyone miserable, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I was blessed, and there's no other word for it, but fortunate enough that the image stuff was happening, that sex criminals had like hit and was this kind of crazy phenomenon that it turned out to be. So I had the freedom to not have to like try and get excited about stuff I wasn't excited about, or that it's fine, and I'm on great terms with everybody there, and I'm kind of excited to like the sort of wave of stuff that's been breaking now is kind of all new to me. Like this is the first time basically since I started there that I've been able to kind of approach Marvel like a Marvel fan again.
Uh-huh.
Like I haven't known what any of the stuff coming up is. So it's been kind of like, all right, I forgot this feeling. Like not knowing every storyline of my favorite comics for like the next 6 months.
Yeah, and I'm actually enjoying a Marvel event for the first time in a while.
Oh, great. Great.
I'm enjoying Secret Wars, but I do tend to now more than ever lean more towards Image. You got with Sex Criminals and with what else am I reading? Southern Bastards is amazing.
Sure.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
I remember listening to another show and they had the editor for Star Wars, the Marvel book,
Uh-huh.
and they asked him if he ever had to ask Jason Aaron to tone down on the blood. And he said there's been a couple occasions where he had to say you might want to, cut back on the bloodshed in a Star Wars book.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, and then what else is over there that I'm reading? Saga, obviously, everybody's reading Saga. It seems like.
Yeah, it's it's we're at one of these places where not only is the ecosphere incredibly diverse right now, It seems like it's only getting more so, and it's really strong for it. It's not just diversity. It's for the sake of diversity. There's a ton of really quality stuff happening right now. I think all over the place. So it's a good time, pretty much for whatever you're a fan of.
Yeah, there's something for everybody.
And things like the kind of runaway success of things like The Walking Dead or Saga have empowered even more non-traditional comics, genre comics, to kind of find space in the world. It's great.
Now with Image,
I'm sorry to be disappointing, but I wish I had like a big dramatic story,
no.
But no, it just, and like and then the Universal thing happened, and I was like, well, thank Christ, because I would have had to pissed everybody off at Marvel to make this happen or to turn the deal down, So.
Oh no, I wasn't. I'm not looking for a scoop. I just was very curious as to what had how that happens, and I don't usually when have had Hickman on before, and he's kind of tight-lipped about things, and I don't blame him. That's just the way he is. But you're very open on this program, and I appreciate that. And
there's no it just it just kind of happens,
Right.
And like I said, I was fortunate enough to be in a place to bark up of the other trees that I wanted to bark up,
Right.
And thank God, like there's nothing worse at Marvel or DC or really any book where there's some like writing, like typing while they're holding,
Yeah.
There's the feeling of like creators creating a book while feeling that they're too good for their audience and that they're above the material. Like, thank God I never got that. I was never that dude.
Right. Now, when it comes to, I think we might have talked about this before, but I got into an argument with a friend of mine, and we were talking about the events.
Mm-hmm.
And you worked on an event. You worked on Fear Itself.
Mm-hmm.
And now, going in, how much freedom do you actually have when writing an event like that?
I mean, that's a little bit of a loaded question.
Okay.
Because ultimately, you have as much freedom as you have on any other Marvel book.
Right.
But you're going to have a lot more eyes on it, and there's going to be a lot more comments, and so there's kind of a lot more people to please, and it's more high pressure than your average Marvel book, that's for sure.
Okay.
More people, I think, internally read the first issue of Fear Itself than read like anything else I'd ever written. But no, it's I think the people who excel at Marvel and DC are people who kind of realize like the kinds of stories you're supposed to tell with these characters,
Right.
And that, like, my old I've used this analogy before, but like if you want to tell a story about late term abortion, like maybe Thor isn't the place to do it,
Yeah, exactly.
So it's intense. It's high pressure. There's a lot of people looking at it, but I mean, it's not like you have less freedom. You just have a more complex editorial process.
Right. That makes sense. Now, with Sex Criminals, I've noticed that there seems to be a break in between after a few issues. A new issue's coming out in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, the 22nd of July. Yeah.
22nd of July, yeah. Always look, because I remember a buddy of mine, I turned him on to the book, and I said, you have to read this, it's just so amazing. And then when it didn't come out for a little while, he's like, what, did the guy forget to put it in my hold? And I said, no, it'll be back, just relax.
And it should have been out by now, but there was a screw up at the printing plant. It's all of issue 11. Issue 11 is the next issue. Every single copy is bagged in a pink poly bag, and 1,000 random copies have been doodled on and signed by either Chip or myself, and sort of orchestrating that was a little bit more work intensive then. But like the book has been done literally months.
See, I need to hope that my local nerd retailer orders more than just the hold copies.
Yeah, I hope so. But it's a you shouldn't you shouldn't be able to tell that yours has been signed until you like open the bag.
Right.
But yeah, so it's on its way. It'll be July 22nd.
Fantastic. I can't wait. I'm very
It's
excited.
and it's the start of a new storyline. It's kind of a good jumping on point for people who want to check it out or who have only checked it out um, in the collections.
There you go. And you know what's funny is I have every issue, but I still buy the collections for some reason.
Oh, thanks. Well, we do new stuff. Like Chip and I are insane, so we want to make sure no one ever feels um, underserved. So we're constantly trying to do new stuff.
And I think that's why you might come on the show all the time because I'm insane. So maybe there's like some sort of mental
Truly,
wavelength.
birds
So
birds of a feather flocking together. Or something.
exactly. And I was a little upset, and this isn't your fault, but I was a little upset when I got the first collection, and they didn't put the lyrics to "Fat Bottom Girls" back in.
Yeah, we tried, and it was literally once again, like it's not a joke. It was literally we had printed every signature of the book, but that one, and we went until the absolute last possible minute trying to make it happen. The pages are all put together in Photoshop, and there's a layer with the lyrics, and there's a layer with the Post-it notes. And Chip was just sitting there like, which one's it going to be? We're going to upload it the second we get word back, but yeah, we couldn't get it done in time.
No, it's not Queen doing it; it's their people.
I mean, sure, who knows?
Well, right now I think they have bigger fish to fry with Kanye singing Bohemian Rhapsody.
This is my story about Queen. Is there was an Audi campaign last year with "We Are the Champions," and Audi used to make cars for Hitler. I don't mean for the Nazis, although they made them for the Nazis too. I mean they were Hitler's personal automobile manufacturers. If you've ever seen a picture of Hitler in a car, that car was an Audi.
Oh wow!
Queen had no problem selling their songs to the Nazi car people, but two decent, hardworking young men like Chip Zdarsky and myself, trying to make a honest wage with an honest day's work, who are giant Queen fans and just want to shed a little light on one of their greatest songs. We get the hi hat. I just want to, just a little wake up call for all of us Queen fans out there.
Yeah, listen to that, people. Take that.
Audi Nazi car people, great, go right ahead. You are the champions, Nazi car manufacturers. What's that? A comic book about falling in love to fat bottom girls? Absolutely not.
Hell no.
Pass me my gold doubloon.
Hell no, no way, not gonna happen. Sorry, but so if you want to follow Matt, you don't tweet too much anymore.
No, I quit. I'm a queeter. I quit. I tweeted.
You tweeted? He tweeted.
Yeah.
But now you're still on Tumblr though.
Yeah, it's just my blog. I like Tumblr as a opiate and as I just like the blogging engine. It's really simple to use. So it's just mattfraction.com. But yeah, it's got a Tumblr backend.
There you go. So you go ahead and you can follow him there, and you can and read all of the cool things that happen. And,
yeah, but fuck Twitter. Everyone should quit Twitter. Fuck Twitter.
I'm on the verge of it because when I was on a computer for a while, I didn't want to sit there and keep tweeting on my fucking phone.
Yeah, no, it just it's the worst. I have a rant, but I sense that you're wrapping things up, so I'll save my Twitter
Oh no,
rant.
Go ahead and rant. Go ahead.
Quarter one of 2015, they were supposed to make $250 million, and the day before their report was released, the news got leaked, and the stock dropped something like 60-some%, and it readjusted by the end of the day. But basically, Twitter was supposed to make $250 million, and they made $230 million. And everybody freaked out. I started to think, like, a quarter, that is an insane amount of money, right?
Yeah.
How does Twitter make that money? I've never paid them for anything.
Neither have I.
But advertisers do, right? And sponsorships do. And anytime you see a hashtag on a fucking TV show. And so I sort of realized that, like, they're no longer in the business of protecting their users. And look, in back-to-back chances, cases, I had reported a guy who was threatening to murder a woman who wrote a review of a video game she didn't care for. I reported a bot that was seeking out anybody using a Ferguson hashtag and tweeting just racist jokes at them, all of them around involving the N-word. And then there was a piece of shit who was threatening to expose the name and address of the Rolling Stone article about the rape case on campus that kind of fell apart.
Right.
This guy literally posted, "Hey, if you don't call me in the next 48 hours and give me the real story, I'm gonna start posting your public information, like where you live and what your phone number is."
Jesus Christ.
And like I reported all of these things to Twitter, and back in the day, that little blue check used to kind of have a little bit of weight behind it. Like you could, it wasn't like, it was like an unofficial ban hammer. You
Right.
couldn't. It wasn't like real power, but if I report somebody back in the day, like they tended to go away quickly. Like my judgment was trusted a little bit. And I got 3 individual emails, 1, 2, 3, each of them saying variations on the same thing, which is, Twitter is an open community. And just like at the grocery store, you might overhear something that's offensive. Twitter is the same way. And we are not here to patrol speech or to control free speech. And, free speech, open community. And really the problem's on you, tight ass, and your standards. And I decided that if that's a community and those are the standards, then fuck that community. I don't want to be a part of it anymore. And then I heard the thing about the money, and it was like, of course they're not in the business of protecting people. They don't want to get rid of users. They need to get more users. And you don't get more users by kicking off bots and racists and rapo creeps and fucking extortionists, right? That's not the way to get that Q2 dollar sign. So fuck Twitter. And fuck everyone involved with Twitter. Shame on them.
Well, that's just like the guy, I forget his name, the guy who plays Castiel on Supernatural. I forget his name. I'm sure I'll remember it after we're done recording. But he had this thing on Facebook where he showed how when they started telling people, oh, you can DM whoever you want now. You don't have to be following anybody.
Yeah.
And that was just, the minute I heard that, I was like, 1, I have a stalker who's going to be coming after me. And 2, all the celebrities are just going to get inundated, and they're just going to leave Twitter, and then you're not going to know what the hell they had for breakfast. Misha Collins. Misha Collins was his name.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right.
And
listen, once upon a time was meeting at William Morris Endeavor, the talent agency, when I was looking to find an agent, and the agent I was meeting with was a possible rep for me. It was like, oh, and you have a big following on Twitter, we can get you sponsorship deals. I go, what do you mean? And like, oh yeah, like anytime you have like over 60,000 people, like we can get you like $8,000 a month. We just get you a list of products, and like once a week you have to tweet the name of one of these things. Just say, hey, I just bought a bottle of like whatever shampoo, and like that's it. Like, so like anytime you see a famous person tweet a product name, they're making money on it. Like it's all skeevy and sketchy, and it's all bullshit, and they're not there to protect people. And now they've made it easier for bad people to get good people. And now Tumblr's fallen down the same rabbit hole, and they know it. They absolutely know it.
Yeah.
I got approached by a muckety muck at Tumblr about doing something, and I was like, absolutely not until you start protecting your users. And the guy looks at me, he's like, you're right. I'm like, I mean, I know this isn't your fault, but you're the guy who gets the paycheck from Tumblr, so you're gonna have to listen to me. But protect your users. Don't make a place where, God, does everything have to be a toilet? You know what I mean?
It seems like it. It really. That's why I blog on my own personal website. You know what I mean? It's not as socially relevant as everything else, but it's something I can control. And if somebody is being an asshat, I can take care of it. And I had to unfriend a whole lot of people this last weekend, be it over flags or them not being too happy with everyone being able to get married. So
yeah. Well, yeah, that's tough. That's tough, man. But like it's yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, too, like I'd just rather write and do my work, and like it's my wife is an extrovert. Good for her. Like she gets energized by it. She gets charged up by it. I get battered by it. even when it's good, even something like, like the Brimp Up, which is these extraordinary, humbling, amazing, wonderful experiences, take a kind of like psychic toll. So like, fuck it, I'm just gonna write stuff and not worry about
Exactly.
not worry about any of this other shit.
And if at some point in a coming issue of Sex Criminal, somebody wants to be wearing a Ron Purtee Show shirt, that would be great.
I will see what I can do.
So don't forget to follow him on Tumblr, I guess, if that's the way it goes. Just go to madfraction.com, read his blog.
Yeah, and then let's see. The last Satellite Sam is out tomorrow, and then July 15th is me and David's last Hawkeye issue, and then July 22, Sex Criminals 11. Also, there's a Triple X Super Dirty variant by Brian Lee O'Malley that comes in a solid polybag, and we're not releasing the image. If you want to see Brian Lee O'Malley drawing a Triple X completely obscene Sex Criminals cover, you have to buy the book and check it out.
I'm gonna have to buy the book and check it out then, because now I'm pretty sure that my local nerdery hasn't ordered that book, so I'll have to get it online. I'm sure.
You have to make sure you special order, because we're only printing for the Triple X ones. We're only printing like to order, and that's it. So.
Okay, well, I will email him when we get off of here, and I will say I want the dirty cover.
Yeah, it's got its own. There's going to be one for each issue. They've got their own order codes. They're priced differently. You can't make a mistake. You're ordering a specialty item.
Fantastic, Matt. It's always a pleasure having you on.
Thank you, brother.
And when you got more stuff going on with Universal, or if you ever want to just come on and shoot the shit, you're always welcome to come on here.
Well, thank you, pal. I appreciate it.
No problem. And I will be right back.
This is David Zuckerman, and you're listening to The Ron Purtee Show.
Follow Ron on Twitter at Ron Purtee. Like the show on Facebook at The Ron Purtee Show. And don't forget to rate and review positively on iTunes to help the exposure of the show.